Hi, welcome back. Good morning, y'all. I'm the 21, also known as Aaron Matt, also known as Song Ranker Unlimited. I wanted to make another one of these ranking videos, not because I necessarily think they're good or entertaining, just because I like making them, and I like making excuses to talk about my favorite songs. Now, today, as you probably saw in the title already, I'm going to be talking about Olivia Rodrigo's new album, Sour, which I'm sure you've heard of by now. It's pretty much everywhere. It's amazing. It's revolutionary kind of for Gen Z. I think it's the first of actual memorable albums that will shape probably how older generations look at their old albums and just forget that bad albums ever exist. And oh my god, is the music industry getting worse? So today, I really just wanted to take a look at the songs and rank them. But as we all know at this point, I don't do things the normal way because I want to make things harder for myself. Hi, I'm psychologically damaged, and this is Glee. I can't put that in. I cannot put that in. So, I'm gonna be categorizing all the songs in Sour, just like I did with Taylor Swift's album Red. If you haven't watched that video, you kind of don't need to because, I'm not going to talk about it that much, maybe some things here and there, but at the end of the day, I will explain everything. So, explanation, let's go. As per last time, I did bring things that I am going to be using in order to categorize the different songs. In this case, instead of using, I think it was 5 the last time, I will be only using 4 because we only have 11 tracks. So today I am going to be using soda! Yay! I grabbed 4 different types of sodas that I personally enjoy, and I am going to use them to pick and choose which song of Sour reminds me most of the taste of the soda. This video makes no sense, just like last time, but this time, is it even worse? I don't know, I can't tell anymore. The first one, and the one I enjoy the most, is Simple Cola. As we all know, cola is kind of very marketable, it's classic, it's a little bit sweet, but mostly everyone can enjoy cola from time to time. That's kind of what it is in a song, it's just classic. After that, we have Orange Soda. Now, Orange Soda, please don't leave. I understand. Orange soda is very overwhelming and the taste can be a lot for some people, so that's why I think as a song, Orange Soda would be very, oh my goodness, right up in your face. Maybe a little bit edgy, maybe not. The next one is Clear Soda. It's, the 7-Up, Sprite, Fresca. It's those types of sodas that probably have like a lime or lemon flavoring, but don't have any actual color, which is why as a song, I think they're kind of bland. Not necessarily bad, just maybe a little bit more standard than every other song. This is the neutral one, but again, this doesn't mean bad. And last but least, we have Grape Soda. I know, please. This was the only thing left at the supermarket. I am sorry. So, and I hate using this word unironically, grape soda is kind of the quirky one. It's the one that maybe you won't enjoy, but for the people that do enjoy it, they love it, and they live for it, and they will never shut up about how good it is. So, for Grape Soda as a song, I think it's kind of the embodiment of that. Songs that are very weird, that you don't really expect, but if you like them, congratulations, you have found your magnus opus. Magnum opus? Just like last time, we will be using the Daron ranking system, also known as DRS, so I'm going to explain it very, very quickly. We have 4 factors that can get up to 4 points each. The first is the ooh factor, which means how much you want to sing or lip sync to a song. The second one is the ah factor, which means how much you want to vibe to it. The third one is the whoa factor, which means how much it surprises you. And the fourth one is the yeah factor, which means how much you want to dance or move along to it. Brutal.
It's brutal out here.
Brutal is a great opening track for any album because it just comes at you in a way that you don't expect it at all. There's almost nothing like it. So, because of how unexpected it is, I gave it Grape Soda. Oh god. On the ooh factor, I gave it a 2 because, you do want to sing the lyrics, but it's not the most lyric-y, oh my goodness, one of all of the songs in the album. On the awe factor, I give it a 3 because It is pretty vibey, but it's not the vibey song. We'll get to that one. On the whoa factor, I give it a 4. Don't at me. It's just amazing. I didn't expect it. And on the yeah factor, I give it a 4 because, I mean, it makes me want to break everything in my house. And that is good? Yeah, why not? So all of that added up, it's a 3.25 out of 4. And I think that's a really, really good starting point. So, what do we have after this one? Traitor.
You betrayed me, and I know that you'll never feel so.
When I first listened to the album, Traitor kind of underwhelmed me. Because it was right after Brutal, which was just in your face. I originally didn't like it that much, but as I listened to it apart from everything else, it has grown on me a lot. But just because of that initial reaction, it's a clear soda. That doesn't mean it's bad, don't get me wrong, it's just very standard and not breaking any barriers. On the ooh factor, I give it a 3 because it is actually very beautiful in the lyrics and you do want to sing them. On the ah factor, I give it a 2. It's not very vibey, but it is not completely like unlistenable. On the whoa factor, I give it a 3 because it was kind of memorable, but it happened only after I listened to it completely separately. And on the yeah factor, I give it a 2. Who's gonna be dancing to it? Like, you wanna sway, sure, but like not dance. So all of that added up, it's a 2.5 out of 4. Again, pretty good. Definitely higher than average. Driver's license.
I got my driver's license last week, just like.
Honestly, this is such a good song. There's a reason why it was the first single of the album and why it's just memorable and almost everyone has listened to it at one point. Like, it's just a really, really good song. It's memorable, it's out of the box for what pop usually was. It just was a very unexpected thing, especially from Olivia Rodrigo, who at that point was just known as a Disney Channel actress. So, because of that, it's an orange soda. I drank a lot between takes. On the ooh factor, I give it a 4 because it's just good. The lyrics are amazing. You want to sing them. You want to scream them. On the ah factor, I give it a 3. I mean, at this point, I've listened to it enough times where it's just not a very vibey song anymore because it makes me sad. But it's still vibey. On the whoa factor, I give it a 3 because it is overwhelming, but not to the point that it was when it initially came out, and it's been a while since it came out at this point. And on the yeah factor, I give it a 1 because it doesn't make me want to move around, it just makes me want to cry, like a lot. So all of that added up, it's a 2.75 in average, which is weird because it's kind of my favorite song in the album, and it's not a 3, but who cares? 1 step forward, 3 steps back.
It's always 1 step forward and 3 steps back.
When I first listened to the song, I thought, wait, isn't this New Year's Day by Taylor Swift? But after that initial reaction, I thought, whoa, this is actually a really, really nice song that I'm probably going to sing a lot. And I do, it's actually very catchy. But I think compared to like the whole album, it's not my favorite song. In fact, I probably think it's the least one I like. So for that, it is a clear. I do listen to it from time to time, but usually it's just in the span of fun because of how catchy it is and also because of how it makes me feel. It just brings bad memories, so I don't like listening to it that much. So on the ooh factor, I gave it a 3 because it's catchy and because honestly the melody is kind of really nice. On the awe factor, I give it a 2. Don't come at me, please. On the whoa, I give it a 1 because it's not the most overwhelming song. It doesn't surprise you at all. You kind of see where it's going and it doesn't deviate from that. And I think that's okay. Like, I don't think that's bad necessarily. I just don't think it surprises me. And on the yeah factor, I give it a 2 because it does make me want to sway around, which is, you know, at least something. So it gets a 2. It gets like at least a 2. So all of that added up, it's a 2 out of 4. It is kind of the average song in Sour, but I don't know, it's still really good, and Olivia Rodrigo is just above average by default, so Deja Vu.
So when you gonna tell her that we did?
Honestly, Deja Vu is probably my most listened to song in the first half of 2021 because when it first came out, I could not stop listening to it. And honestly, I still like it a lot. Is it my favorite song? I don't know. It might be. And just between us, I do think it's kind of the most underrated one of all the singles because when I ask people what their favorite single was, it's either Driver's License or Good For You, and it's rarely ever Deja Vu, which is weird because it's It's really good. And because of that whole aesthetic of like old but combined with the new, I think it gives it a really classic aesthetic. So it's a cola, buddy. I'm gonna have like severe heartburn after this video. On the ooh factor, I give it a 3 because I can't sing all of it even though I really want to. On the awe factor, I give it a 4 because it's so good to vibe to. This is what I listen to when I want to listen to something by Olivia Rodrigo. It's just so good. On the whoa, I give it a 2 because, you know, I listen to it a lot, so it doesn't surprise me as much anymore. But when I first listened to it, it was really good. So it's a 2. It's a 2. And on the yeah, I gave it a 3 because it doesn't make me want to move around as much as Brutal, but it's definitely up there. So 3. All of that average, it's a 3 out of 4, which is honestly good. It's good. It's a good song. Listen to it. Good for you. I think this is her most liked song. Like when I go around and I ask people what their favorite Olivia Rodrigo song is, most of them say Good For You, and yeah, it's a good song. I don't think it's the best one she's ever made, but I do think it's really up there. And because it was so out of the box and not what we expected, you already know where I'm going with this one. It's grape soda. I'm just realizing this kind of looks like the cola one. God, I should have gone for something like banana. It's just really good. The guitar is amazing, the vocals are amazing, and the video is, I don't know, how do I describe that masterpiece? On the ooh factor, I give it a 3 because it's really good. The lyrics are amazing, and I only gave it a 3 because I can't sing the bridge, even though I really want to sing the bridge. On the awe factor, I give it a 3 because it is very vibey, but it's not deja vu for me. It's just a personal thing. On the whoa, I give it a 4 because it's still very surprising and amazing and just, oh my goodness, like, ugh. And on the yeah factor, I give it a 4 because it's like Brutal. It makes me want to move around and dance. It's just good. All that added up, it's a 3.5 out of 4. I don't regret that at all. Enough for you.
All I ever wanted was to be enough for you.
Enough for you feels kind of out of place here. And I will explain why I think that later, but I just want to put that out there, and it's kind of just not what I expected, especially after Good For You. Good For You was kind of this giant build-up that leads down, and then it ends, and you expect something as good as that, or maybe even a little bit better, and Enough For You is not that. It's a really good song, though, and it's very vibey and very beautiful, but not emotional. And I'm sorry if it comes across that way. It is just my personal opinion at the end of the day. But because of how it was composed, it just brings me back so much. So, cola. On the ooh factor, I give it a 3 because it is beautifully, like, lyrically composed. Did I just say beautifully and lyrically? I'm so stupid. And it's catchy, but not enough to be annoying. On the awe factor, I give it a 2. I don't know why, it just felt like a 2. On the whoa factor, and I know this is gonna sound weird, but I gave it a 4 because it kind of did surprise me, like the harsh transition from Good For You and to this. So I gave it a 4. And on the yeah factor, I give it a 2 because it does make me want to sway around, but that's it. That's at most. So all that added up, it's a 2.75 out of 4. I'm sorry, I guess. It's still not like a 2. Happier.
I hope you're happy, but don't be happier. And do
Now, Happier is exactly what I needed from this album. Emotional, amazing lyrics, beautiful to vibe to, makes me want to cry every single time. And because how beautiful every single thing in the actual track is, I gave it an orange. It just feels that way. I don't have to apologize to anyone. On the ooh factor, I gave it a 3. It's just singy that way and in a good way. On the awe factor, I give it a 4 because it's another one of Sour that just, I have to put it on. Every single time I wake up, I have to listen to it. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. On the whoa factor, I give it a 4 because it just makes me feel every single time the climax, the bridge. And when she says happier, I think a small part of me will never recover after hearing this song. And on the yeah factor, I did give it a 2 because, you know, it's not dancey, and if that's like the only thing that it has not going for it. Still, all of that added up, it's a 3.25, which is really good. Jealousy.
jealousy started following me.
Jealousy Jealousy is a really good song by anyone's standards, but I do have to give it one fault, and it's on the whole album's fault. I don't think it fits in that specific part. I think that if you switch Jealousy Jealousy and Enough For You, the album would make much more narrative sense, but that's just something that I think personally. At the end of the day, it's still a very good album. So just because my gut told me, I think it's a clear. Again, these are all just my opinions. At the end of the day, I don't really care. On the ooh factor, I give it a 2 because I don't know, it just didn't feel too sing-songy, but it didn't feel completely boring. On the awe, I gave it a 4 because honestly, it is very vibey, and if you don't listen to it with the whole album, like, it is very vibey, and it's a really good listening experience. On the whoa, I gave it a 2 because I don't know, it just didn't feel too surprising. It felt kind of what I expected after Happier, which is not what you want in an album, but also exactly what you want in an album. On the yeah, I gave it a 2 as well. It's not very dancey to me, so all of that added up, it's a 2.5 out of 4. Which, again, it's not bad. Favorite crime.
Well, I hope I was your favorite crime.
Just between us, I thought this was the worst song in Sour. When the album first came out, I heard millions of people saying there are no skippable songs in Sour, and I honestly didn't think that was possible. I think there had to be at least one. And when I listened to it for the first time, I thought, oh yeah, this is the one. This is the one that people are gonna go to skip eventually. But then like 3 days ago, I had like a breakdown, and this song was basically the only thing that pulled me out of it. And I realized, this song's good. It has emotional depth that is not very common with songs. It has beautiful symbolism that you can tell Olivia Rodrigo's a fan of Taylor. It's vibey enough that it makes you want to sway around. And because of all of this, I think it's a cola. It's classic, it's sweet, and it's really beautiful for almost everyone. On the ooh factor, I gave it a 4 because at this point, I really like singing it. And I think it has one of the best bridges in the whole album. On the awe factor, I give it a 4, not only because of that amazing bridge, but also because how her voice actually incorporates into the track. It's just beautiful. On the whoa factor, I give it a 3 because I did listen to it a lot, so it doesn't surprise me as much, but it is still really amazing. And on the yeah factor, I did give it a 1. I'm sorry, it's not very dancey. So all of that added up, it's a 3 out of 4. Hope you're okay.
I hope that you're okay.
I think now that we're living in this post-Cave Town era of soft singing pop, we can see some very clear patterns in almost every album, and I think the most common one, or at least the one I see the most, is the fact that almost every album has a song that is very soft and that carries the theme of it, and it's almost always at the end. You know, you have it in When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go by Billie Eilish in the song Goodbye. We have it in Kid Crow with the song The Story by Conan Gray. I did it on my album as well with the song Tommy. And now we have Olivia Rodrigo's Hope You're Okay, which is a great way of ending the album. It has a very nice message, and it's very easy to listen to. Because of this, it's a clear. On the ooh factor, I gave it a 2 because it doesn't have like a defined chorus, which I don't think is amazing, but it's still very good singing experience. On the awe factor, I gave it a 4 because I think I already said this, it's one of my favorite songs in the entire album. It's just very good to listen to. On the whoa factor, I gave it a 3. It isn't as overwhelming as some of the other tracks, but I don't want to put it down just because of that. And on the yeah factor, I give it a 3 because I know you expect, just because a song is small, that it won't have a high yeah factor, but honestly, I think this is a really good example of a movie song while still being slow tempo, because it makes you want to sway and like dance around with someone, but with someone, even if they're not there. And I think that's very important. It just makes me feel good. So all of that added up, it's a 3 out of 4. And with that, we can finally move on to the results. The duration of this video is made on voiceover because I ran out of space in my phone. Yes, I'm a very professional person, haha. So I will be doing this completely by my microphone and I don't know, I guess my avatar, whatever. Here are the results. Okay, the number 1 flavor profile that we're gonna have is Clear Soda, which has 4 songs in this category, which kind of makes sense. I mean, I did describe it as like the standard flavor, so the standard one should probably have the most songs to be based off of. Then we have in second place Cola, which I did describe it as classic, so I guess it should be up there. And then in last place we have Orange and Grape, which both have only 2. But let's face it, Orange is so much better than Grape Soda. So I'm just, like, for arbitrary reasons, I'm just gonna say Orange Soda is better. So, song rankings. In first place we have Good For You, which has a 3.5 out of 4. In second place we have Brutal and Happier, which both have 3.25 out of 4. In third place we have Deja Vu, Favorite Crime, and Hope You're Okay, which all have a 3. In fourth place we have Driver's License and Enough For You, which both have 2.75 out of 4. In fifth place we have Traitor and Jealousy, which both have a 2.5. And in last place, with only a score of 2, is One Step Forward, 3 Steps Back. If that's your favorite song in the whole album, I am so sorry. This is not a personal attack on you. This is literally just my taste and my preference and my opinions on how this makes me feel. I feel it's kind of funny that in third place we have 3 songs which all have the number 3. Just thought that was funny. And now the biggest moment for me is all of the averages so far. So in the OO factor we have 32 points out of a possible 44, so that gives it a 2.9 in average. In the AW factor it has a 35 out of possible 44, so that's 3.18 or 3.2, however you want to round it up, which is also like really good. In the WOW factor we have a 33 out of 34, which gives it an exact 3 on average. And on the Yeah factor we have a 26 out of 44, which is the lowest score, 2.3. So what this tells me about the album is that it's an album that really surprised me and that I love vibing to, that I don't really necessarily see myself dancing to, but that is okay at singing, which honestly, yeah, I do think like this, and I do think I got the numbers right in the end. But the biggest part of all this, what is the final score? Well, with everything added up and then divided again, we have the score of 2.85 out of 4. Honestly, that is a really great score for anyone's debut album. Really quickly, I just want to say that I do think this album is amazing. It is by no means a perfect album. I do think that even though I did say Jealousy should have probably been changed, I do like how much it changes the pace of the whole album. And it did have one very similar sound throughout that kind of didn't change, and usually I'm okay with that, but sometimes it does get a little bit boring. That said, I do think at the end this album is amazing, and I will listen to it, and it's probably my top 10 favorite albums of all time. That should be a good video one day. Just stream the album and just have a good time. Send Olivia Rodrigo some love, she deserves it, and I hope we get to see more of her from the future. I am going to be very excited. I'll see you guys next time where I'll be gaslighting, gatekeeping, and girl bossing my way through another album. Good night.